Marlins and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Here's the Marlin lineup. They're 9th in the league in hitting, 5th in runs, 7th in homers. It's brought to you by Southwest.com. And Hanley Ramirez has a chance to win the batting title. He's at 342, number 1 in the league, and he has a 15-point advantage over, of all people, Pablo Sandoval of the San Francisco Giants. J.D. Martin sees the Marlins for the first time. If he stays with the Nats long enough, he'll see them a lot in divisional play. Will Nieves is battery mate tonight. The defense is ready. Here we go. Chris Coughlin steps in. Right on time at 7:05, at least for a moment we were. They're pointing out something down the left field line. Bo Porter and the third base umpire Jim Wolf.
I think it's Teddy. Teddy wants to play left field. I'm kidding.
Partly cloudy. It is 90 at game time. It was smoking in town today. Marlins are 5 over 500, 5 games back of the Phillies in the East. Phillies are hosting Colorado tonight, and here's the first pitch of the game at 7:06, just missing. Chris Coughlin, a compensation round pick. He started the year at AAA, and now with the Marlins, he's their leadoff guy with only a .343 on base average. Emilio Bonifacio is only hitting .248. And the 1-1 from Martin is right on the corner. The crew chief and 16-year veteran Gary Cederstrom has the plate. Fielden Culbreth, Adrian Johnson, Jim Wolf. Swing and a foul, and it just falls out of the glove of Will Nieves. Chris Coughlin, 24 years of age, from Palm Harbor, Florida. He played at the University of Mississippi, better known as Ole Miss, and the count's 2-2. Marlins own the Nats until the Washington Nationals do something about it. A record of 9-0 this year, so Nick Johnson has been on both sides of this thing now. And if the Nats beat the Marlins tonight, Nick Johnson will be the only guy who's 0 for 10 in this series. So it's about time the Nats took care of Florida. They owe them after the late inning bullpen collapses the second weekend of the season, when the Marlins came in here and swept. Martin misses up high, 3-2. At home, the Nats are 20-33. On the road, the Marlins are 26-24. That ball ripped on the right field side. Elijah Dukes can't cut it off. Coughlin might be thinking 3 now, and he should. He'll be there standing up. Leadoff triple. And Willie Harris has to rescue an errant throw by Elijah Dukes. And Nick Johnson will step in with a chance to drive in a run against his former team.
Well, J.D. Martin's already thrown pretty much his entire repertoire. Fastball, curveball, changeup. Gets behind 3-2. He has to come in with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and Coughlin laces it down the right field line.
Nick warmly received by the Nats fans. He hit .295 here. Some of them are standing. The last connection at the major league level to the Montreal Expos, Nick Johnson, who came to Montreal from the Yankees in '04. For the Marlins, he's 2 for 6 with 1 RBI in 2 games. He's also walked 3 times and been hit by a pitch. He rips it, and Adam Dunn misses it. 1-0 Florida. That didn't take long. A base hit. And Florida has 2 hits and a run already. And here's Rob with J.D. Martin on the PNC scouting report.
Well, he doesn't have a lot of starts up here, so I went with some old stats. 5 starts as a pro before he gave up a run. He was 30 wins over 500 down on the farm, 61-31. So he does know how to win an awful lot, and just win tonight. Whatever it is, 3 runs, 4 runs, stay in there long enough, give the team a chance to win.
And now you got to do it against one of the best hitters in the game. Hanley Ramirez hit hard by a pitch over the weekend, but it missed the bone on his knee, and he's fine. Leading the league at 342 with a 409 on base average. Batting average with runners on base, not necessarily in scoring position. Only Bobby Abreu of the Angels better. Way inside. It hit him. Gary Cederstrom says it got part of his uniform on the way by. And on a count of 0-2, Hanley Ramirez hit by a pitch.
Come on, look at how baggy his uniform is. This was a nice, tight-fitting uniform. It wouldn't have hit him. And got him. See right there. J.D. Martin, though, trying to establish the inside part of the plate. I have no problem with that. You're going to clip some guys sometimes. Get a ground ball, you get 2 outs.
Next up is Jorge Cantu, and somebody in the defense hoping he'll hit a ball at them. Willingham, Morgan Dukes the outfield, Guzman Gonzalez up the middle. Will Nieves handles the pitcher tonight. Willie Harris for a beat up Ryan Zimmerman at third. Ryan looked like he was heading for the emergency room last night in Pittsburgh. He had his right shoulder iced. He had his ankle iced up. Bumps, bruises all over the place. And a ball driven to center. Niger Morgan knocks it down. There's a force play at third. He got him. Morgan plays it beautifully and aggressively. And on what should have been a base hit, he goes 8-5 on a fielder's choice. That is impressive.
Well, I think Nick Johnson saw enough of Niger Morgan when they were teammates to know this ball almost is going to be caught every time. So he holds up at second and he's thrown out at third base.
That's the second time this year a Nationals outfielder has turned a single into a force play. Austin Kearns did it in Arizona at home plate. That's a big out. Bases would have been loaded, nobody out. And here's Dan Uggla, 2 on, 1 out. Uggla continues to be an all or nothing major league hitter at times. He leads the Marlins with home runs, 19, but he struck out 94 times and he's hitting .227.
That's just a very heads-up play, though, by Niger Morgan.
Well, and quite frankly, a lot of center fielders would have been afraid to charge a ball that aggressively that hops right in front of them. That'll be over the dugout, out of play. I mean, he took that, Rob, on a very difficult hop. It's not like that thing hit 50 feet in front of him and came belt high.
Well, and if that ball gets by him, it may be an in-the-park home run. So great job by Niger first to stop the ball. This is going to be a short hop on him. Catches it. And there you see Nick holding at second and just gunning him out.
That's Morgan's 12th outfield assist, by the way, this year.
He has a much better arm than I was told when he got here.
1-2 to Uggla. 1-2 now. 2 of the most prolific arms are right next to each other, Morgan and Dukes. One and 2 to Uggla.
Stop by Will.
The Marlins, because they're fly ball hitters as a rule, don't hit into a lot of double plays.
You see how he quickly turned the glove over. That's exactly how you want to do it. You don't want to try to bat the ball down, then it's going to get by you. You have to roll it back the other way and block it like a goalie.
2-2.
There you go. He did it again.
Continues to nibble with the breaking ball. Now it's 3-2. Douglas hit into 7 double plays this year. The Marlins only 75.
Watch the technique. You could either try to push down on it or spin the glove. He spins the glove and makes the catch.
Already over 20 pitches, only 1 out registered, and that was on a would-be base hit.
I mean, would you agree this is an awful lot of work to get 3 outs? 24 pitches, he's got 1 out.
Well, and after all those breaking balls, then he misses with the fastball and walks Ugla. And a Nationals nemesis, Jeremy Hermida, steps in.
He had been doing a great job of throwing strikes. 1 walk in the first 12 innings he pitched, but it's not about that. You have to pitch to contact. That was a situation right there. You could probably get a ground ball double play, get out of the inning, and you're trying to strike the guy out, and you nibble so much you walk in.
That's a good place to stay on Hermida, who likes to pull the ball. He's hit safely 8 of his last 9 games with 10 hits. Breaking ball, he took a little bit off and it dove down sharply. Strike 2.
Northrop Grumman on this big 12-6er. Very nice.
The information systems powerhouse. And another one. And a big strikeout for out number 2.
There's some information for you. You can't hit that. Well, he gets ahead, 88-mile-an-hour fastball. That's what you need to do. You got to get ahead with the fastball, and then 2 breaking balls will put him away. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Have a seat.
And the 3rd pitch, just a little bit lower than the 2nd. Almost a perfect pitching sequence by JD. He'll face Cody Ross, who's another free swinger.
This guy always seems to bang against us.
He's hit 17 home runs this year, and when he hits a homer, the Marlins are 11-5 this year. He had a game-winning homer against the Nats the last time our ball club went to Florida just about a month ago.
Run that by me again. 17 home runs.
17 homers.
And 11-5.
He hit 2 in 1 game.
Oh.
And then the other ones, all were 1 per game, and they're 11-5. So he's homered at 16 games. And they usually win when he does.
Well, there's all 4 pitches from JD. 29. Fastball, cutter.
But that's why the Marlins love Nick Johnson. They don't have high on-base percentage guys. They do now with Nick. 0-2 count. He's got a good breaking ball going right now. It's barely foul.
This is the perfect time, though. You've thrown enough breaking balls here where you could fire a 90-mile-an-hour fastball up and in and probably get him to swing at it.
Catcher John Baker is next. Wow, was that close.
It was a nice pitch. I think it
could have been called either way, and the count's 2-2.
Well, he's got such a good curveball that this slider or cutter may have tricked the umpire. Good pitch.
On a fastball up. It's hit out to center, and Niger Morgan is under it. And J.D. Martin will do very well to give up only 1 run. Long inning, leaving the bases loaded. FLOATWAS.com. Elijah Dukes is back home. He's in the number 5 spot, 3 behind Christian Guzman, who's been on fire. 13 runs last 10 games. He's also driven in 12 over that time. Maybe the most impressive number of all. He has 40 multi-hit games. Only Miguel Tejada with 44 in Houston has more in the league. But the Nats will have to be good offensively to take on this big horse tonight. Josh Johnson 10-2 with a 2.87 ERA. Now there was a ball game here earlier this year where the Nats had a big first inning against him, but the bullpen couldn't hold it later. Austin Kearns hit a grand slam against Josh in that game. Niger Morgan shows bunt and the count's even 1-1. As a Nat hitting .379 with an on-base percentage of .416. And almost half his ball games have been multi-hit affairs here. And a 2-2. Wow. Tight strike zone by Gary Cederstrom to start this game. 3-2. Morgan doesn't walk much. He's an aggressive guy. And he can't get that one. He foul tips it into the glove of Baker for the first out.
I'm going to give you some patterns on this PNC Bank scouting report with Josh Johnson. Okay, he's really good. 16 wins by the Marlins in his 21 starts this year, 8 out of his last 10 starts, and over the last 2 years since he recovered from Tommy John surgery, 26 wins by that club in his 35 starts. The big Okie is good. But I'm hoping that pattern, Bob, doesn't hold true tonight.
It's funny, I was talking to one of the Marlins broadcasters who shall remain nameless. And Guzman will drop one up the middle. And it's funny, broadcasters are superstitious like players are. We know that about Rob. He said, I don't like this matchup. It appears to be a mismatch. Something's going to go wrong. And I said, I certainly hope so. Josh Willingham will be next, and there's the Marlin defense with Cody Ross between Chris Coughlin and Jeremy Hermida. Ugla and Ramirez have been up the middle for the better part of 4 years together now. Cantu and Nick Johnson on the corners, and the catcher John Baker. The Marlins are in the bottom 5 in the league defensively. And here's the former Marlin, Josh Willingham. Coming off a great road trip. And Josh had a double and 2 walks yesterday to push that on-base percentage up to .420 now. When he gets enough at bats, that'll put him number 2 in the league with a lofty number like that. Oh man, that was close. Guzman took about a step and a half the wrong way just as Johnson threw.
Let's see. Yep, you see a little stutter step towards second base. Most times you'll get picked off if that pitcher sees that quick enough.
That throw's a little lower. He's gone. Willingham with a base hit to left, adding to his .305 batting average. And the Nats have 2 singles with 1 out. Adam Dunn coming up, and he's been notable lately. The Nats in the last 10 games just really powdering the ball. Adam Dunn right in the middle of it, and he's owned Nationals Park lately. The Marlins, their starters have been very good. Look at that, a 3.3 ERA, unbeaten as they've won 9 of their last 12.
Yeah, this hot streak can't continue by the Marlins. It can't.
Okay. Here's Adam Dunn. Adam Dunn might like this matchup better than he does guys throwing all kinds of junk, breaking stuff, and off-speed deliveries at him. Tying runs at second base with 1 out. 51 of his 78 RBIs coming with runners in scoring position. Two and one.
It was funny talking to him after the game last night. He's talking about, well, I was looking for a changeup and I kind of ran into a fastball the other way. I mean, he's just so strong. He doesn't have to sit back and try to pick his pitch. He just needs to make contact and the ball's going to go.
Albert Pujols only hit 4 homers in July. His lead in that race has really shrunk. There's a fastball, ceiling of the strike zone, outer half, and the count's even 2-2. Pujols is also nearly 30 points behind Hanley Ramirez in batting average, so it appears there will be no Triple Crown this year. And a 2-2 to Dunn, hitting .280. Adams strikes out for the 120th time. 2 down.
Just some of the Josh Johnson stuff over the last 35 starts. 63 walks, 191 strikeouts, now 193 strikeouts in the last 230 innings. He does give up hits, though. Over that 229 innings pitch span, he gave up 213 hits. So he's a power pitcher. He'll give up the occasional home run, but this year his off-speed stuff's been phenomenal.
Power matchup here with Elijah Dukes. He can't get to the breaking ball. Dukes comes out of his first weekend back in the big leagues hitting .245. 32 RBIs in 60 games. Well, looks like the strikes are on the outer half tonight. Elijah has fanned 50 times, walked 20. This will be tough for him on 0-2. Willie Harrison and the third base assignment tonight with Ryan Zimmerman not starting. Rockies got 2 in the first at Philadelphia tonight. Hamill and Moyer pitching there. Garrett Atkins has hit his 7th homer of the year. Marlins are doing some scoreboard watching these days as the second place team. And Dukes takes a breaking ball. It's 2-2. Ryan Ludwig is homered and the Cardinals are ahead at New York. The Mets are 10 out in 4th place. One nothing Marlins here. 2 on, 2 out. And Dukes hits it hard to center. How far? It is caught by Cody Ross at the base of the wall. I tell you, off the bat, that sounded like it was going halfway up the hill. The Nats are frustrated. They leave 2 as Elijah Dukes goes deep, but not deep enough. get to run the bases after the game. And Mom and Dad, you get to watch. Top of the second. John Baker for the Marlins, their catcher, hitting .275. On the first pitch, he'll pop it up to the shortstop, Christian Guzman. No wind at all tonight. And Rob making the comment in between innings that if there's any shred of breeze, that ball by Dukes probably gets out by plenty.
I mean, he hit that to the farthest part of the park. He crushed that ball, and it just died right in the corner, and Ross caught it. That was a very nice grab, by the way, by Cody Ross.
If it's 402, right where the numerals are, it's about another 6 or 7 feet to the very tip of that triangle out there. Just to the left of the 402s where Cody Ross hauled it in. And the pitcher, Josh Johnson, he's hit 2 home runs this year, driven in 8. He's a .127 career hitter. In his last start against the Braves, he went deep. And both of his home runs have been 3-run shots. He hit the other one against Milwaukee. He will look at a curveball and go take a seat. Second strikeout for J.D. Martin. The Nats took a team photo today. I hope everybody was nice and alert after our 2 a.m. arrival. All the guys looking good, distinguished.
Looking good, feeling mean. Lean, mean, fighting machines.
I wonder who's the toughest guy to get to stand still for the picture. Morgan, maybe? Dunn?
Yeah, well, Niger's fast just standing there. Will Nieves always has a lot of energy.
He'd be a little fidgety.
Yeah, he makes Coffee nervous. You know, but see, they didn't have an animal in their pictures. When I was in Cincinnati, we always had Shotzi or O2, the puppy of Beethoven that was given the March shot. And the dog was usually chasing somebody around or going after some batting gloves. That was Shotzi's favorite thing.
Best story I ever heard was Andy Van Slyke when he was with the Pirates. He wore a black cap with a gold S on it. Nobody noticed it. It was for Steubenville, Ohio High School. He pulled one over on him because it was the same color as the Pirates cap. That one well played by Guzman. Chris Coughlin is gone. And a 1-2-3 for J.D. Martin. Tomorrow, Panasonic Tough Book computers. Tough book for a tough world. Navy Federal Credit Union. We serve where you serve. The big gray ships and a military man at the ballpark tonight rooting for his Nationals. Bottom of the second coming up. Harris, Gonzalez, and Nieves against Josh Johnson. Willie goes up, first pitch swinging, pops it up. Hanley Ramirez. You can't fool us, Tony Kornheiser. We see you under that cap. Taking in some action at the ballpark tonight.
Tony Kornheiser.
He is fun to listen to on the radio. Very clever, knowledgeable. Have you ever interviewed him or vice versa?
We worked together at ESPN Radio.
He was like same show?
No, he was the show before the show that I worked on. So I used to go on there and talk to me sports occasionally. But yes, he is a very, very smart man. Written for the Washington Post for many, many years. He does Monday Night Football. He still does his radio show. And then Pardon the Interruption with Michael Wilbon. And he loves popcorn at the ballpark.
On a fastball up, Gonzalez tips it into the glove of Baker. Will Nieves with 2 outs and the bases empty. And for more on Ryan Zimmerman, here's Debbie.
Well, Bob, today Ryan Zimmerman was awarded the Heart and Hustle Award. Former Washington Senator and chair of the Major League Baseball Players Association, Jim Hannon, gave him the award, and it's really an honor for him to be a finalist for the National Award. He's among his peers, such as David Eckstein and Albert Pujols, and I think that it's just his drive and the way he plays the game that got him nominated.
That's a neat award to be nominated for as your team's representative. I could see those 3 guys being favorites for that award. Well, Nieves hitting .256. He's 10 for his last 33. Over 10 ball games started.
I'm shocked Milton Bradley's not on that list.
You are not. Come on. He's got a lot of drive.
He's got a lot of passion. There's an emotion.
One and 2 to Will. And that's a breaking ball going away, 2 and 2. Pitcher on deck. Great time for Will Nieves to get on base. Nick Johnson plays way off the line. He knows his former teammate likes to hit the ball over there. That time, though, Johnson jammed him. Josh Johnson. Nick Johnson catches the throw. And the Nats are gone in order. 5 in a row for Josh. Top of the third in a 1-0 game coming up. Chris Volstad. That's a Thursday matinee at 12:35. Nats Extra, high noon. John Lennon, the only lefty to appear in this series. Can't wait to see him back on the mound tomorrow night. Here's Nick Johnson, who has an RBI hit. Slammed a hot shot right by Adam Dunn back in the first inning after Chris Coughlin opened the game with a triple. Well, wherever Nick plays, he's going to hit 270 to 280. His on-base average is going to be 380 or higher. His power is really down. He only hit 5 homers last year, although he missed a lot of the season. But this year, healthy, he's only hit 6.
Yeah, he only played 36 games last year.
And of course, he was having the really good season in 06 when he broke his leg September 23rd at Shea in that collision with Austin Kearns. He had 23 homers and 77 RBIs that year, hitting 290. He had the left-handed home run record with those 23 for the Nats until Adam Dunn passed him up. J.D. Martin on a 2-2 pitch. And Nick will pop it up to the left side. Kristen Guzman calls off Willie Harris, 1 out. Why not have a look at some of those home runs with the Nats? Oh, that was the one. Remember, he hit against Santana? That laser beam to left field at Citi Field?
That was very impressive. That just shows you how well he tracks the ball and can hit it the other way. He's hit lefties about 350 this year.
And that one in Philadelphia. Hanley Ramirez hit by a pitch first time.
Well, his uniform was hit by a pitch.
True. Let's see how many times his uniform has been hit this year. 7.
See, I kind of think that he's either lost a lot of weight or they need to tighten up that uni a little bit. A little bit baggy. He's not David Wells.
I think David Wells and Edgar Renteria wore the baggiest uniforms I've seen in recent memory.
Manny Ramirez.
Oh, yeah.
But that's just Manny being sloppy. Well, the NFL has a uniform, kind of lords of uniforms. Jack Tatum is one of them, and he goes around to every game and he makes sure that every player is up to snuff as far as wearing the uniform, and if not, they get fined heavily.
I wouldn't mess with Jack Tatum.
No. So I think baseball needs to get with it and get some guys to go around and get these guys up to snuff with their uniforms.
Man, that's a good pitch.
Now this is a case of a rookie pitcher against a guy who's right up there for the batting title. I figure if he doesn't swing, it's not a ball. I mean, if he doesn't swing, it's not a strike.
Yeah.
So.
Leading hit guys. Hanley Ramirez is in that list. Ryan Zimmerman and Niger Morgan each have 121, right down at the bottom of the top 10. And Hanley Ramirez will walk with 1 out. And that will add to his 410 plus on base average. He's aboard with 1 out for Jorge Cantu. Cantu hit that ball up the middle, on which Niger Morgan made a fantastic play. It was basically a base hit, and with Nick Johnson caught in no man's land on a short hop to the center fielder, Niger threw Nick out at third. If that play doesn't happen,
got him.
That was real close.
Ramirez got caught looking at signs at the third base coach. Great job by J.D. Martin. You will watch Ramirez looking over across the diamond, doesn't see the pitcher. Just missed tagging out.
Yeah, if Adam slaps that tag down toward his leg, he might have had him. He tagged him belt high while the leg was getting back to the bag. Mets just got 3 in the bottom of the second to take a 3-1 lead at St. Louis. I heard an interesting factoid today about the Mets. You know, the Diamondbacks were at Citi Field. Mark, the third baseman, Mark Reynolds hit 3 homers in that series. That's how many David Wright has hit this year at home in that ballpark.
Well, in that ballpark, McCutcheon did that one day in his ballpark against the Nationals.
The Mets are at the bottom of the league in power. They did get Gary Sheffield back. 2-1 to Cantu. And that'll even the count. Big strong Dan Uggla on deck. And Martin's had a hard time putting away hitters. He's had a lot of 2-strike counts. Just like Ramirez a moment ago, and a couple of guys in the first inning hasn't been able to get the out.
Well, but in that first inning, had a great 12-6 breaking ball. Even a good slider, and he's gone away from it.
Line drive knocked down by the pitcher. He didn't want a chance to play at second base, and you can understand why, and he made a very good play to get 1 out.
Great reaction right here. He's in position to knock this ball down, sees he has no play on Ramirez, doesn't want to force the throw, and he takes the sure out.
Two outs. Uggla coming up. Dan Uggla walked first time up. Pitch count really mounting here. 2 outs in the third, and reaching the 60 pitch mark. J.D. Martin, Josh Johnson in his 2 innings, 31 pitches, 20 strikes. But it's still a 1-run ball game, and that's 3-0 on Uggla. Uggla on his way to another 30 home run season. He's hit 31 and 32 the last 2 years. 27 as a rookie in 06. That's another strikeout there. And as I mentioned earlier, we first saw this to Adam Dunn, and now to the right-handed batters. Gary Cederstrom has a liking for the outside corner and beyond.
But he's been consistently calling that pitch out there.
That one's low.
Not that one.
2 walks. It's 2 on, 2 out, and Jeremy Hermida coming up.
Not the worst walk in the world. When you look at this lineup, who can really hurt you? Ramirez. Not only is he a great hitter, 16 homers, 70 RBI. They gave him 1 more. And then Uggla, 19 homers, 54 ribbies. Those are 2 guys. Not a problem to pitch around. Struck Hermida out the last time.
Steve McCaddy made numerous trips to the mound to see Garrett Mock last night. Mock had 67 pitches in 3 innings. J.D. Martin will have to have a 2-pitch out here to equal that. Although Mock was down 3 runs, it's only a 1-0 game here. But the bottom line is the young Nats pitchers are having a hard time getting outs without spending lots of energy. Mock pitched 3 hitters and no outs into the 5th inning last night before Tyler Clippard literally saved the game in the 5th inning. I know McDougal got the save, but Clippard basically got the save and the win
earlier in the ball game. No matter how hard you try, eventually you're going to have to either throw a strike or let the other team hit it. And it's better if they hit your pitch that you want them to hit than be behind in the count and then have to throw it in there for a strike and they rip the cover off of it. So you can be careful, or you can be too careful and really put yourself in a jam, and that's what Mock has done his 4 starts. J.D. Martin has done at times.
It's going to be another long night for the Nationals bullpen.
Well, it's a question of you can't throw your strike 3 pitch when it's a 0-0 count or a 0-0 count. You have to get something in there for a strike.
And a bouncer foul, counts even 1-1. J.D. Martin was in the Cleveland organization for 8 years. Never made it to the big leagues. The Nats got him as a minor league free agent last November.
But you have to be doing something right, Bob. I don't care if you're pitching in college and you're 61-31, and that's what he did in the minor leagues. So he's a winner. He knows how to win. You don't get up to the major leagues and then all of a sudden change your style and say, well, I'm going to be a little nibbler.
Hot shot, Guzman to his left. He'll have to throw on to first. And 2 more stranded by the Marlins. It's military night here at Nationals Park. The beautiful World War II memorial, and then up the hill on the other side of the Potomac, Iwo Jima. One of America's 5 armed forces, tracing its roots back to August 4th, 1790. Today is the 219th birthday of the U.S. Coast Guard, and we would like to thank all of our armed forces for their dedication to protecting the safety and security of America. J.D. Martin 0 for 3 as a big league hitter. He's had 2 real long innings when you consider that the 1-2-3 top of the second was only 10 pitches. He's going to have to find a way to stick around for a while. He has stranded 5 Marlins already as the Nats try to generate some offense against Josh Johnson. That's no swing. Says Field and Culbreth down at first, and the count's 1-2. Took a big hack at a high fastball and popped it up. Calling everybody off the ball, Jeremy Hermida. 6 straight for Johnson. With Niger Morgan walking in, Rob, that play he made back in the first inning worth another look.
Well, he's going to short harp a ball that he thought he could have caught in the air, and Nick Johnson gets held up in between. Is he going to catch it? Is it going to drop? Goes back towards second, and that was all the time our Niger needed to throw out the Marlins' Nick Johnson.
And not even close at third base on a force out. Top of the order, Morgan struck out swinging first time up.
Did you know the Coast Guard, when it was brought into existence in 1790, was part of the Department of Treasury?
That's a swing 0-2, and that's really interesting. Wow. Department of the Treasury.
Yep.
So they have some gold hidden in those ships?
Absolutely. Maybe they were busy hiding the gold.
Probably hiding them from those Pittsburgh Pirates. Oh my. Morgan slams one into the seats. And evidently hit a seat, and that's okay. Christian Guzman has a base hit. He's next. Right at the 8 o'clock hour here in our nation's capital. And Morgan takes a fastball high. It's Nationals baseball Masson. Rob Dibble, I'm Bob Carpenter, and our outstanding crew. Good to be back home with them. Morgan bumps one foul, and the count stays 2-2. Rockies now have a 3-0 lead at Philadelphia. And Morgan strikes out on a pitch away. 2 Ks by Johnson on Morgan and 4 in the game. Next up, Christian Guzman.
And you see Josh Johnson not messing around with Niger Morgan. 98 miles an hour on the black. We talk about this, when you throw off speed, you help some of these guys. Niger, a couple of strikeouts, and he doesn't normally strike out against anybody. You attack the hitters you don't think can hit home runs, and then you stay away from the ones you know can. Unless it's Ozzie Smith. That guy drove me crazy.
Guzman. Josh Johnson is 6'7", no problem for him. He's retired 8 straight. We go to the middle innings, and the Marlins lead 1-0.
It was a very historic vessel. It was used by presidents. It was the Secretary of the Navy's yacht. Then it went back to the presidents. And a lot of America's history was made on that small boat, beautiful boat, all lovely paneled and varnished. But a lot of famous presidential level meetings were on that little boat. And she's still sailing today and in good shape. And it's the first time that, as I understand it, any boat has docked here at this
ballpark.
Yeah, right here, right outside this entrance right here. Yeah, feels kind of exciting.
A little bit of history, and you also got to be a part of history. And how special was it for you to take the first trip into Nats Pier?
Well, the first trip into Nats Stadium, and here we are watching the national pastime of the nation's capital on a perfect summer night that happens to be Military Appreciation Night. That's just about as good as it gets.
And we are celebrating the birthday of the Coast Guard, and the men and women that work in the Coast Guard are very important to our country, aren't they?
They're very special. They're our first line of defense all along our shoreline, all around our country. And oftentimes you think about Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine, but the Coast Guard's always been there for America.
Okay, thank you both for joining us. Let's go back upstairs to Bob.
That's great, Debbie. A historic trip coming up to the ballpark tonight. Cody Ross is going to homer and make it 2-0 as he continues to wear out the Nats. And folks, he hit that ball 3/4 of the way up toward the concourse.
Well, no way to defend that one, Bob.
Cody Ross is 18th of the year. And when he homers, the Marlins usually win. And that's not the first time he's done that to our ball club this year. I don't know what it is about him and our pitchers, but the Nats certainly serve up the home run balls to Cody Ross.
Well, 3-2 behind in the count again. You got to throw an 86-mile-an-hour get me over either cutter that didn't cut or a fastball. And
he homered in the first game he played here this year, Friday, April 17th, in the 9th inning against Joel Hanrahan. And then this ball hit out to center by John Baker, and Niger Morgan is there.
I just wanted to bring up the point about working ahead. Hanley Ramirez, as talented as he is, when he's behind in the count 0-2, hitting .087. When he's ahead in the count 2-0, hitting .333. When it's 3-1, he's hitting .400. You see a little pattern there? You want to work ahead.
How do you do that?
You get ahead. Breaking ball, fastball, whatever. Throw strike one. It's still the best pitch out there. Strike one.
Josh Johnson struck out looking first time up.
And after the count is 3-0 on Hanley, he's hitting .800.
Johnson hits one high in the air to deep left center. And this ball is gone. Josh Johnson, the pitcher, hits his 3rd home run of the year. Have you ever seen a pitcher hit a ball better than that to the opposite field?
No, but maybe Walter Johnson was a little bit bigger than this guy, but he's 6'7", about 270. And he just launches this pitch. It's a fastball up and away. The big 25-year-old just swipes at it and connects. Wow.
He hit that ball close to 400 feet to left center. He's homered in 2 consecutive starts, and the Marlins lead 3-0.
Not that people need a history lesson, but Babe Ruth won 94 games as a pitcher before he became an everyday player.
Well, I've seen Josh Johnson hit a golf ball. And I know how strong he is, and that doesn't surprise me one bit. Up the middle, Coughlin with a base hit. He's 2 for 3. And J.D. Martin's evening is about to come to an abrupt end. Down 3-0, only 1 out in the 4th, and he's in the 80 pitch range. Here comes Steve McCaddy again, with Nick Johnson coming up. And by the way, the Marlins They only have 4 starters right now. They've had some days off. They don't need another one until this weekend. They have 9 pitchers in their bullpen. 9. 7 right-handers, including former Nat Luis Ayala, former Angel Brendan Donnelly, who's back in the big leagues. They just got Matt Lindstrom back, although Leo Nunez is pretty much Freddie Gonzalez closer from the right side, and he's used Dan Meyer, the lefty, to close a couple of games based on matchups from the other side of the plate. They have former Nat Brian Sanchez out there, but a 9-man bullpen, as Freddie Sanchez likes, or rather Freddie Gonzalez likes his lineup so much, he really only has 3 extra men besides his backup catcher, Ronnie Paulino. And you can do that when you have starters taking you deep into games.
Well, and that's something too that the Nationals need to work on for next year, trying to get a set lineup. Platooning, I've never been a big fan of, and having different lineups every night, it's not conducive to winning. So you see a lot of these teams, they have set lineups night after night after night. They don't change a thing. Guys work better on defense when they play every night together, and I think that's what Freddie Gonzalez has done this year. Most of his guys are out there, same guys, same position every night. Team with the lowest payroll, and they won 84 games last year. They've already won 55 this year.
Yeah, they're on pace for 80+ again. And it's just a shame the Nationals can't do a thing about this. They are 0-9 against the Marlins this year. There is no way one team at the major league level should dominate another team at that same level like this.
Well,
it's uncanny.
They are 5th in the National League in offense, so he's pretty secure in the fact that they're going to score some runs.
They're 2-7 against the Phillies, 5-4 against the Mets, 5-3 against Atlanta. So they're respectable against 2 teams, not very good against another, and then invincible against the Nationals. They're 10-15 against the Central and 14-13 against the West. You could make an argument that the Nationals are the reason the Marlins are in the race. Nobody goes 9-0 against somebody. That's a double play. Nick Johnson hits it right to Adam Dunn, and Chris Coughlin caught off the bag. That ball was hit hard, and the Marlins are hitting J.D. Martin hard tonight. For the new 510 horsepower Jaguar XKR and XFR. Beautiful evening in our nation's capital. Hot night, 90 degrees at game time. Well, the ball's carrying for the Marlins. The Nats haven't been able to get anything done lately against Josh Johnson. 2 hits in the first inning, including a base hit by Josh Willingham right after a broken bat single by Kristen Guzman. Dunn struck out. Dukes flied out deep to center, and the Nats haven't had a sniff of a base hit since. Breaking ball just misses. 1-1.
Well, the Nationals were in this situation last night, 3-0. Definitely don't want to continually come back from 3-0, but they can do it.
That's not Charlie Morton standing 60 feet away, though. It's Josh Johnson from a town they call Jenks, America. Right across the river from Tulsa. It's a little town that has an amazing high school athletic program. Josh went to high school there. And they have this arch rival named Union, and one of those schools has won the last 13 Oklahoma State football championships. Hanley Ramirez, that's off the bag. But Willingham is gone, starting the bottom of the 4th inning. Get your red on. Watch the Nats and the D-backs. Saturday, come out early because we've got 15,000 Adam Dunn bobbleheads to give out. Presented by PNC Bank. 888-632-NATS. Visit Nationals.com. Stop by the ballpark to get your tickets, and make sure you come early to get through the gates as quickly as possible to take home your bobblehead. I asked Josh if he ever considered playing football because he's such a big guy, and he said no, but he sure enjoyed painting his face and sitting in the bleachers on Friday nights. High school football out there in Oklahoma and Texas, a whole different animal. And a fastball to beauty to the outside corner, 0-2 to Dunn. Adam played some football under the Friday night lights. Boy, Johnson went right after him. He gets the ball and he's ready to pitch, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's a ready pitcher.
That's going to get him on the corner. As usual, Teddy led for about 1 furlong tonight. He's got a cast on his arm after the pierogi wiped him out in Pittsburgh. Keep your eye on Thomas Jefferson on the left. Uh-oh, he's leaning. He's leaning. You get that head out too far, Rob, you're going down.
New meaning to getting the head out.
You could see him getting top heavy, and he was done.
Thomas Jefferson, top heavy.
And then Teddy.
Why was Teddy all bandaged up?
Well, remember the pierogi wiped him out in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Just tackled him head on. Watch
Forward
this.
Momentum.
Yeah, there's gravity there.
Top heavy.
Bang.
Well, Major League Baseball looking into the president's race. Maybe the presidents are too top heavy. Ooh.
1-2 from Johnson to Dukes. At the end of the race, Teddy held up a sign that said, "I love PTI." Shameless promotion for Tony Kornheiser's TV show. Now we know why Tony was here. Elijah Dukes for a moment. There it is. And a 2-2 to Dukes. Elijah strikes out. Josh Johnson is mowing down the Nats. Haven't had a hit since the first. It's now the 5th inning, 3-0. Who founded the U.S. Coast Guard in 1790?
George Washington.
That's too obvious.
That's my guess. I don't know. Did you know he died 1799? Bet you didn't know that.
I have to disqualify myself because I saw the answer, I think, earlier. He did. The inventor, or the guy who established the Coast Guard, does appear on our currency. That could be a lot.
Andrew Jackson.
That could be coin. That could be bill.
Benjamin Franklin.
Could be Hamilton.
It's all about the Benjamins.
Hanley Ramirez here, 1-1, top of the 5th. I like the way we mix baseball and history here. Jason Bergman was up last inning after the Marlins hit 2 home runs, one of them by the pitcher. Hanley Ramirez pops one a mile high on the infield, and Gonzalez has it.
See, he's throwing him off his game. You hit him, walk him, you get him to pop up.
And he's hitless beyond the 5th inning. Jorge Cantu is next. Beautiful sky as we look out west. Aren't the days getting shorter now since about 2 weeks ago? That's a good breaking ball to Cantu. A hard luck 0 for 2. He's hit the ball hard up the middle twice. Morgan took one hit away from him, and J.D. Martin took the other. So he pulls it for a single. Willingham had to get over and box that ball down. That thing was really skirting on the grass. It'll be just another Wired Wednesday tomorrow with Niger Morgan. It'll be fun to listen to him. You'll probably hear some quick moving footsteps, and we'll cover the bases Thursday on a day game with Craig Stammen, who pitches against Chris Volstad. I'm sure Craig is eager to get back out there after a rough outing in Pittsburgh. But right now, Rob, it's the Nationals offense that has come to the rescue lately. The pitching, other than Lannon, not very stellar. Colin Ballister was good his last time out, but didn't get beyond 6. And I know we have to be patient, but it sort of makes you eager to see Jordan Zimmerman get back out there. The Nats will have him pitch a couple of abbreviated outings of the 4-inning variety before we see him back up here. 2-0 to Dan Uggla. Martin hasn't wanted anything to do with him. He's walked him twice. Does Dan Uggla walk much? Well, he's walked 60 times, including his 2 tonight. 94 strikeouts. That's a lot of ABs without contact. Martin has walked 3 tonight, gone to numerous long counts, hit a batter, and given up 2 home runs. Jeremy Hermida is next. Inside corner, 3-2. Third time through the order usually is better than the second.
Well, none of those batting averages against are good. Not going to win a lot of ball games 280 and above.
3-2 pitch. We'll see if they start the runner with one out. They don't. Uggla fouls it. Way inside, almost hit him. Another walk. This game is still within reach.
Oh, it's over for JD.
And that's why Jim Riggleman's going to make the move. You know, if it's 5-0, 6-0, maybe you see if he can finish the inning, but not in a 3-run game. It's urgent, and here comes Bergman answering that call. With the founder of the U.S. Coast Guard, who is pictured on currency, it's all about the Hamiltons. Come on.
Well, I think he's what, the head of the Treasury Department. That's why.
You had the historical tie-in between the Coast Guard and the Department of the Treasury. And Rob Dibble, you've just won 2 tickets to the tour of the U.S. Mint.
Hey, I wouldn't mind that.
Time.
I know I'm coming home with some souvenirs.
I was thinking about going over there and visiting some of my tax money. Hermida 0 for 2. At second base, Cantu. Ugla behind him. And Jason Bergman trying to settle this ball game down. Good off-speed delivery there. He had Hermida way out ahead. Well, Jeremy Hermida, for a couple of years we kept hearing, when this guy gets healthy, he's really going to be something. He's had a variety of injuries, but this year pretty healthy, hitting right around 250. And Bergman freezes him with a fastball after the changeup that probably made that heater look about 5 or 6 miles an hour faster. That's the second out of the inning.
Northrop Grumman here on the big fastball, 95 on the black. That's four-seamer.
The information systems powerhouse, Northrop Grumman, with our pitch track tonight. Cody Ross homered last time. And a fastball in there from Jason. He didn't hold up, says Field and Culberth. Cody Ross can't believe it. He froze his bat in that one position. Let's see if he pulled it back. Oh yeah, he did.
He broke that imaginary plane.
Then he tried to sell it.
Well, one of the reasons probably why the Marlins are going with so many guys in that bullpen, they score over 4.5 runs per game, but they only allow 4.19 per game in return. They are 18 and 13 in one-run ball games.
Not bad.
Not bad. Now, you look at the Nationals, we're actually the third best scoring team per game in the National League East at 4.46 runs per game. But the pitching staff allows 5.05 runs per ball game. That's where you get killed.
Well, and then when you add the unearned runs.
Yep, and 10 and 17 in one-run ball games.
If you add the unearned runs, the Nationals give up 5.6 runs a game, something like that. I mean, you can't recover from that. That's a swing and a miss on a real good breaking ball in the dirt. The Nats are still in this game. Willie Harris will lead off. He's playing third base tonight. He can run. He can Harris to get something going, and Josh Johnson showing why he's a shutdown type #1 starter.
Well, it's a pitching clinic, and I've told you this many times and probably bored you to tears about what a pitcher's job is. And his last 35 starts over a season and a half, he's just gone out there and his team has won 26 of those 35 starts. That's what your job is. It doesn't matter what your record ends up being, whether or not you're 20 and 5. It's all about what you can do for your ball club. So he has a 10-2 record, but the Marlins have won 16 of his first 21 starts this season. That's the bottom line on a starting pitcher.
Yeah, there's your quality starts right there. Willie Harris popped up to short first time, first pitch swinging back in the second. Josh Johnson hasn't given up a hit since Josh Willingham singled hard to left field in the first. The hit before that, Guzman's, was a broken bat job up the middle. So really two well-hit balls, the Willingham base hit and the Dukes fly ball to the center field wall with 2 outs in the first, and that strikeout number 7. Ladies' Night is back on August 20th. $30. You get access to the rooftop happy hour and a ticket to the 7:05 game against the Rockies. The happy hour starts at 4:30. Complimentary food and drink, manicures, massages, player appearances, prizes, DJ, dancing, and more. 202-675-NATS or nationals.com/ladies night.
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night.
I have a feeling men are about to become obsolete.
And the feeling's right.
Thank you. The king of pop passed away, but evidently the king of disco is still with us.
Oh, what a night. So you got to be able to get down that low. Can you get down there?
Oh, what a night.
Oh, what a night.
All right.
Hey, my dad gave me a great voice. What can I say? I don't like it, but... Oh, yeah, okay, enough about Josh Johnson. Come on, let's start getting some good at-bats together. And What's most impressive is he's come back from Tommy John surgery.
Exactly. And some guys will tell you when they have a serious injury like that, the work they put in rehabbing is more extensive and they work harder than they did when they were healthy. And they come back. Some guys can come back very strong.
I don't know if you heard what Dick Pohl, the pitching coach of the Cincinnati Reds, said about the Edinson Volquez Tommy John surgery. He is blaming the WBC. He is so upset that this kid that was on the All-Star team, and that's some frustration coming through.
Well, when you're 5 for 52.
Yeah. Not the bat's fault. So Dick Pohl just basically took it out on Major League Baseball and the WBC that one of their star pitchers is now going to be gone probably through next year with Tommy John surgery. And he's very upset.
Well, in the Marlin bullpen, Luis Ayala. The Nats did not want him to pitch in the WBC. He did, and he was never the same.
Daisuke Matsuzaka has made 8 starts for the Red Sox this year.
Will Nieves hits that ball a long way to right field, and it's run down by Jeremy Hermida, and the Nats are gone in order for the 4th consecutive inning. 14 straight for Josh Johnson. Will Nieves making a bid for his 2nd home run in his career. At 1-0, 3 starts, he's been pretty good. Relatively inexperienced at this level. John Lannon is the Nats ace. 7-8 with a 3.41 ERA. Coming off one of his rougher starts of the year at Pittsburgh, but he doesn't get much run support. Only 8 pitchers have less to work with than John Lannon. We'll start you off at 6:30 with Byron Kerr and Ray Knight. Nats Extra.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy that Don Drysdale's not starting tomorrow night against us.
Yep.
Because this guy named Juan Marichal.
The Marlins box score rolls by. John Baker leads off.
Well, and that's the thing, too. I've interviewed Tommy John a number of times, who the surgery is named after. Tommy did not take a season off after he had his surgery. He went right back out and pitched the next year and then won 161 or 171 games. I can do the math, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Won almost 300 games. But after he had that ligament replacement surgery, he won 160 games without having the 12 months off to rehab.
And without his velocity. He became a real pitcher. That ball ripped out to center. Niger Morgan right there. And John Baker scorched that thing. 3 in a row for Jason Bergman, and here comes Josh Johnson.
Uh-oh. Josh. Big man. Big lumber.
Homering in 2 consecutive games. He had never hit a major league home run until this year. Now he has 3. And those home runs have driven in 7 of the 9 runs he's knocked in this year. Nats have seen some good hitting pitchers lately. Zambrano, Gallardo.
Owings can hit, but he's hurt right now. And you said Zambrano's got what, 18 homers? 15, 18?
Hold on, I'm going back. I'll find it.
How could you not know that off the top of your head?
I'm in shell shock. That's how.
He's not going to hit that curveball.
When the Cubs played here, Carlos Zambrano had 19 career home runs.
19. That's awesome. There is a big breaking ball.
Boy, Jason has great stuff tonight. When Bergman has this kind of stuff, it reminds you of the game he pitched against Atlanta a couple of years ago as a starter. But I think this role suits him. I think Jason likes getting out there, 3 to 6 outs. And he has great stuff and great command tonight. Chris Coughlin, the hitter, he's 2 for 3 with a triple and a single. We're in the top of the 6th inning. The Marlins lead 3-0. With Josh Johnson pitching, it seems like more than that. Alfredo Amezaga is out for the year, and that's a little outfielder the Marlins at times have used as a leadoff man the last few years. Adam Dunn. And a 1-2-3. Bergman retires 5 in a row. He'll be done. They'll hit for him next, and then the top of the order coming. .252 pounds, and right now he's untouchable. Josh Johnson's given up only 1 hit tonight, and look at the one he got for himself. He put his head down and ran, and the ball made it to the bullpen on the opposite side. His 3rd home run of the year. Marlins 3, Nationals nothing. Bottom of the 6th. He's working on a 2-hitter. Jason Bergman stays in the game, by the way. The Nats need to eat up some innings here. Don't want to burn the bullpen on the first night of a series, so Bergman will pull a Tyler Clippard and stay in the game.
Well, it's actually good sometimes to let a guy stretch it out a little bit, use some of his pitches, but also get a feel. I mean, relief pitching is a field type thing where you have to have your pitches right now. It's not like, okay, I can give up a run or 2 and still have a chance to win the ball game. You got to come in throwing strikes right now.
And because they play pitchers shallow on the opposite side, Bergman hits the ball well, but lines out to start the 6th inning. Top of the order, Niger Morgan, and Josh Johnson has done nothing but blow him away tonight. Little soft liner. Niger's 0 for 3.
Yeah, I think that might have hurt his hands too. 97 right on his hands.
Christian Guzman trying to keep Josh Johnson from retiring his 17th consecutive batter. He's already pitched 2 complete games this year. He'd had only 1 in his career coming in. That was last year.
Well, he's got very smooth mechanics. He repeats the delivery so well. He just keeps pounding the strike zone. But he's 1% of stuff in the major leagues. Not many guys can throw 95 for 7-8 innings every time out. Good breaking stuff, good off speed, nice changeup.
Now, let me ask you something. I haven't looked up the numbers. Does it feel like there are more complete games in baseball being thrown this year?
It feels like it, but there really isn't. I mean, there's a couple of teams that combined have 7 to 9 complete games as teams, but not guys, not individuals.
Okay. Well, this guy could change some of that. He's making it look very easy through 6. He gets 1 out into the 5th inning. Lots of walks, 4 of them, 99 pitches. Bergman is relieved and done well. Nick Johnson got the game's first RBI. The next 2 have come on homers by Cody Ross and the pitcher Josh Johnson. So here's Nick leading off the top of the 7th. He's 1 for 4. And as a Marlin, he's 3 for 10 with 2 RBIs playing in his 3rd game. Nick's been in a pennant race before. He appeared in the playoffs when he was a Yankee.
How long ago was that?
It's been a while. 02-03. In 2 division series, Nick struggled a bit, but he did have 3 RBIs on 3 hits. In the 03 LCS against Boston, he went 6 for 26 with a homer and 3 RBIs. And he had 5 hits in the 03 World Series for the Yankees, ironically against the Marlins. So he's had a taste of it, and he brings a measure of experience to this club. But I think the big thing he brings over, Rob, with a team in the race and the wild card race, is that .420 on base average.
Well, and he can go both ways. He hits lefties better than he hits righties, so that's a huge plus for a good defensive first baseman.
Yeah, because a lot of times in the playoffs, it's all about matchups, isn't it? Lefty,
absolutely. And even at the end of the ball game, when you might pinch hit for him, say, hey, listen, this guy's hitting .350 off lefties, probably better than most of the right-hand hitters on the bench.
Yeah.
You know, like our own Ryan Zimmerman's hitting .320, .330 off of right-handers, and probably about .278 off of lefties.
Well, there he is on base for the 2nd time tonight.
Well, And you're right, too. I mean, the one thing he could possibly teach his teammates is patience at the plate and taking a few more pitches.
Yeah. I hear exactly what you're saying. My response is good luck with that with some of these guys. They're hackers. The man at first and the man who replaced him at first.
Ryan Zimmerman, 257 versus left-handers, 305 versus righties.
That's a serious jam job right there. And a pop-up. 1 out. We mentioned Jordan Zimmerman about 2 innings ago. Debbie has an update.
Well, Bob, he pitched tonight for Potomac against the Frederick Keys in Frederick, Maryland, of the Orioles affiliate, of course. And he had 6 strikeouts through 3 1/3 innings. But he gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. One of them was a home run, an earned run, a walk, but 6 strikeouts. So mixed bag in his outing tonight.
Thanks for the update, Debbie. And Jim Riggleman said in Pittsburgh the other day they're looking for Zimmerman to pitch in the 4-inning range a couple of times before they bring him back up here.
And the stats really don't matter. It's how does that elbow feel tomorrow when he comes and shows up at the training room. You know, you're not worried about how many pitches he threw, how many hits they had, how many Ks. It's how does that elbow feel? Because that's, you don't want him to come back here with anything that doesn't make him think he's 100% healthy to go out there and face major league hitters, because the adrenaline level up here is night and day between the minor leagues and the major leagues. You don't want that kid to be injured. He's the future of this franchise.
And a ball hit high in the air by Jorge Cantu. Long run for Josh Willingham, who was playing deep. And that's the second out here in the 7th inning, with Dan Uggla coming up. Friday nights, and there's one coming up against the Diamondbacks. Miller Lite Party Nights out there in left center field for $20, $22 for a premium game. A scoreboard pavilion seat and a free drink at the bar, soda, water, or beer. Pre-game music, post-game fireworks. 888-632-NATS, which is 6287, or www.nationals.com. Do any computers make you type the W's anymore? I don't think so. Here's Uggla. 3 walks. I guess Nick Johnson's had an effect on him. I don't remember Dan Uggla ever walking 3 times in a game. Hasn't been much to hit, though. And there's Ron Vallone getting ready very quickly. Maybe for the next hitter, because if Bergman doesn't end the inning, they'll have 2 men on, and left-hander Jeremy Hermida coming up. 2-1. The Nats have walked 5 Marlins tonight. Deep short, Guzman. There's a play, but he just can't get anything on the throw, and an infield hit for Uggla. And I'll tell you, I thought there was a play at second base, but Nick Johnson did a real good job of getting to second base in a hurry, and Guzman did not have a play at second.
Well, this ball's hit deep in the hole. Nick running on contact. Guzman doesn't even look at second.
Might have had a better shot there, if any.
Well, he knows Uggla doesn't have a lot of speed, but I think he just didn't think he could throw across his body and throw a perfect strike.
It looked like Nick was into second base pretty quickly there. Will Nieves may be buying time for Ron Vallone here. The umpire, Gary Cederstrom, will come out, and that's exactly what the Nats were doing. Jim Riggleman will make the change. So Jason Bergman will go 2 1/3. To this point, no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk. He struck out 3 while he was in there, and it'll be up to the left-hander Vallone to get Hermida and keep this a 3-0 game just before the 7th inning stretch. Telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. Lefty-lefty matchup. Ron Vallone's 38th appearance for the Nats. Opponent's hitting .244 against him. It's surprising the right-handers are hitting .229 against Ron and lefties .265. But the 3 home runs he's given up to right-handers. Jeremy Hermida tonight, 2 punch-outs and a ground ball 0 for 3. Pulled off a good Ron Vallone breaking ball, 80 miles an hour, and that's 1-1. That's a front door breaking ball of beauty. Two on, 2 out. If the Nats have any hope, they need to keep this a 3-run game, just like Tyler Clippard did in Pittsburgh last night.
Last night it was Tyler Clippard that turned the momentum around in that game. Sometimes it's just getting out of an inning can change the momentum and the offense gets it going.
And a 2-2. That ball jacked down the line. It's going to score 1, send another runner to third, and the Marlins lead 4-0. That hurts because that was Nick Johnson, who Jason Bergman walked to lead off the inning. First and third, 2 outs, and now Cody Ross.
Well, you see the swing by Jeremy Hermida, head down, doesn't try to kill the ball, just put it in play. It found a nice little home out in right field.
Cody Ross 1 for 3 tonight with a homer, his 18th. The last time these two teams met, Cody Ross hit a homer and drove in 2 runs. That was the homer that Sean Burnett gave up in his first Nats appearance down in Florida. And he's homered tonight off J.D. Martin. This guy's made himself into a pretty decent major league hitter with pop. 18 homers and 58 batted in. Didn't leave anything in the bag on that swing. He hit 22 for the Marlins last year when he batted .260. It's the top of the hour here at Nationals Park in our nation's capital. Bob Carpenter, Rob Dibble, and Debbie Taylor with you on Masson 2. And sad to report, for the 10th time in a row this year, it's all Marlins. And a fly ball to right. for Elijah Dukes. They pick up a run. It's a 4-0 game. Josh Willingham followed by Adam Dunn and Elisha in the bottom of the 7th. Birthday of the United States Coast Guard. The Coast Guard has approximately 40,150 men and women on active duty. The Coast Guard has continued to protect the nation throughout its long history, both at home and abroad. Yeah, you can go surfing, buddy, because of the Coast Guard. And make those sand castles. Bottom of the 7th inning. Willingham, Dunn, and Dukes. The Nats haven't had a hit since about 7:20 this evening, and it's just past 9 o'clock. Off the end of the bat, Willingham pops it up for Nick Johnson. That's a fair ball by the time Nick turns down the music and makes that play. He struggles on pop-ups. Now, I was talking to the Marlins broadcasters about this earlier. Their ballpark has very little foul territory. That will help Nick Johnson defensively.
Does that mean less room to drop balls?
Less room to roam.
Okay.
There's Adam Dunn, and he goes up hacking. I'm pretty sure Adam doesn't want the count to get to 0-2. Six innings worth of batters retired. Phillies have gotten on the board, but the Rockies are pounding them tonight. 8-3 up at Citizens Bank Park. Jimmy Rollins has hit his 12th homer of the year. The Rockies dropped a 4th spot on the Phils in the 6th. And at the end of the night, if the Marlins can keep this going, they'll be only 4 games behind Philadelphia if those 2 results stand up. Adam Dunn strikes out for the 3rd time tonight and the 122nd time this year. That will be 9 Ks for Adam Dunn, Byron Kerr, and Ray Knight. And it was a struggle for J.D. Martin, only 4 1/3 innings. Josh Johnson, he's got his foot on the Nats' neck right now. Jim Riggleman's post-game press conference. And right now, not a whole lot for the skipper to talk about offensively. Elijah Dukes with a high chopper out to short. Hanley Ramirez, high throw, and Nick Johnson stays on the bag. The Nats are gone in the 7th. It's a gem for Johnson. Into the 8th we go. Navy Federal Credit Union. We serve where you serve. And the monument all lit up tonight, looking beautiful here in early August. We're going to the top of the 4th inning. Top of the 8th inning. I wish it was the 4th. And the Nats would have more time against Josh Johnson if that was the case, but he is poised to close out this game. He's thrown only 82 pitches in 7 innings tonight.
He looked tired, though. He had to run all the way around the bases on that home run. Maybe he can't finish this game.
I like your optimism, as misguided as it is. And a high fly ball to Niger Morgan off the bat of John Baker, and that's how the 8th gets underway. And here comes Josh Johnson.
Well, and the fact that they have 9 guys in their bullpen, pretty much bring out another guy and still have 3 guys left for the final 6 outs of this game.
Yeah, 1 per out, huh?
Yep.
It's a great luxury to have when you have a guy taking the mound every 5th day, and you just feel like you're going to win. Now, the Nationals will feel that way tomorrow with John Lannon, won't they?
The same way they feel about Josh Johnson?
Maybe not to that degree, but he's the best the Nats have right now.
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
But yes, and that's how good John Lannon has been, giving his team an opportunity to win every 5th day. Now you got to work on the other 4 days.
Swing and a miss.
Have to give the Marlins some credit too. I mean, they got Ricky Nolasco in the trade for Miguel Cabrera. They've used some of the trades that they've sent really good players elsewhere. One of their other stars, Hanley Ramirez, came in the Josh Beckett, Mike Lowell trade to the Red Sox. I mean, they wouldn't be where they are without making some fantastic evaluations on their trades.
And I was told the Marlins said to the Red Sox, we don't make this deal unless we get Hanley Ramirez.
Right.
He was the deal breaker or maker in this case.
And even Cliff Lee, that was 4 players for 1 guy. Justin Masterson from the Red Sox, who I think could be a stud in this league, was sent in the Victor Martinez trade. So just maybe wait. Not this year, maybe not even next year, but a couple years from now, you may see a guy like Masterson just dominating at this level, and you'll look back and go, well, that was the Victor Martinez trade. So I know a lot of people are down on the Indians right now, but they've picked up a lot of great players for 2 players.
One and one to Coughlin. Left center. He's going to drop one. It bounces to Willingham, and Chris Coughlin is 3 for 5 in the leadoff spot tonight. Coming into this game as the leadoff hitter in 48 games, he'd batted .267 for the Fish. Hanley Ramirez was their leadoff man until this year when they moved him into the number 3 slot. So they've been conducting a casting call at the top of their lineup to see who wants to be the leadoff man. And there he is on deck, Ramirez, with Nick Johnson stepping in. Nick with an RBI hit, a hard hit line drive that Dunn turned into a double play, a walk and a run scored.
Bonifacio, who's only really hit against the Nationals, he was their hope earlier in the year as leadoff guy.
Yeah. A broken bat, pop fly. Adam Dunn can't get it. The runner's trapped off second, and out is Chris Coughlin, and the inning is over. It'll be a base hit for Nick. And then an alert play to get the runner who did not like the call. assist of the game, and it's all about Niger Morgan on that line drive by Cantu earlier.
Well, this was just a heads-up play. Wasn't able to make the play in the air, but he gets the short hop, makes a perfect catch, perfect read, and guns out former Nationals player Nick Johnson.
Bottom of the 8th. Harris, Gonzalez, Nieves. And Josh Johnson falls behind ball 1 to Willie.
I think you said that was his 12th assist.
It was.
Of the season.
League leader in that department. Willie shows bunt, pulls the bat back. Matt Kemp of the Dodgers has 11. Dukes, Jay Bruce, Michael Bourne with 10. Willie Harris, right field. It's dropping. And the Nats had their first base hit since 21 batters ago. And 2 of the 3 hits tonight are broken bats.
When you have great stuff like Josh Johnson, even when you make great pitches, sometimes the hitters break their bats and get singles, get home runs sometimes. And he has given up a few home runs this year, not many. Averages about 2 a month.
Alberto Gonzalez is next.
But I've told you before, hitters will let you know what you're featuring on any given night. And at 21 straight, let you know how good Josh Johnson's been.
And Gonzalez, a flare right field. No way for Hermida to get there.
Well, he's got some new wood this at bat after breaking his bat the last at bat. See if that works.
And that was not on the swing, he broke it. And Gonzalez rips one up the middle. That's the best contact he's made in a while. 2 on, nobody out.
Well, short and sweet, right to the point. Took the fastball right back up the middle. Not time for a big long swing. Time to just swing down on it. Chop it right back up the middle. You see that quick swing. I've been missing that in the last couple of weeks. Guy throwing that hard, still throwing in the low to mid 90s. He's supplying the power. All you have to do is make some contact.
The one thing the Nats lack tonight, with Ryan Zimmerman not playing and Willie Harris starting, is a bona fide left-handed bat off the bench. So Ronnie Belliard, a right-hander, is on deck to hit for Ron Vallone. Now, if you're in a tight ball game and you need a bunt or a contact guy, you can call on Anderson Hernandez. But when you're down by 3 or 4, you need somebody with some pop. And Will Nieves fouls that one. Will is 0 for 2. Nats haven't had many opportunities, have they? With runners in scoring position. This is the only, well, they've had only 2 at bats tonight.
Well, the Marlins not much better with that 2 for 9.
Yeah. Hey, they've stranded 10 runners. Those 2 at bats were done strikeout and Duke's long fly ball way back in the first inning. Will Nieves with a base hit to right. Willie Harris will be held by Pat Listash. The bases are loaded with nobody out as the Nats take a singular approach against Josh Johnson. Belliard will get the pinch hitting appearance here. Kiko Calera, the right-hander. Reniel Pinto, the lefty.
Well, this year, Josh Johnson has been averaging almost 16 pitches per inning. That's a lot, but that just shows you he's a strikeout power guy, averaging a little more than 103.3 pitches per start, and he's right at 90 right now. So this is right about when he should be running out of gas.
He hasn't pitched less than 6 innings since May 14th. In the month of July, well, he actually only went 3 1/3 against the Nats, but it rained that night. But then he went 7, 6 2/3, 7 and 6. That's what's left on the bench, having used Ronnie Belliard now, as Ronnie steps in.
Well, if Ryan Zimmerman can swing a bat, I'll try to get. He's one of our better fastball hitters.
Way outside for a ball. Belliard 2 for 17 as a pinch hitter this year. Ball 2. 20 batters in a row, and now 3 consecutive singles. That was right on the corner. Ronnie's done the Grand Slam thing twice. He hates not to play. That's a great slider, 2-2. A late breaker.
Well, he maybe took the last fastball. He's going to see this at bat. Sure, he knows Belliard's a good fastball hitter.
Ronnie Belliard. This ball's heading for the bullpen. 2 runs will score. It'll be 2nd and 3rd, and it's a 4-2 game.
Nice.
That's one of the hardest balls I've ever seen Ronnie Belliard hit. And the Nats have 4 consecutive hits. They're finally on the board.
Well, I said he wouldn't get another fastball, and he didn't. He got a bad breaking ball, and Ronnie Belliard is all over that. And that's when you think along with the pitcher, know what's coming, wait on it perfectly, and just crush. And that man is very happy, and so are we. Nice job, Ronnie.
That ball had backspin on it. It was a low liner, and it carried almost to the bullpen before it hit. And the Nats have knocked Josh Johnson out of this game. Wow.
Hasn't done too many of those tonight, but that one cost him. 2 runs will come in. 2nd and 3rd, no outs. Josh Johnson knocked out of the game.
Here's an interesting number as Reniel Pinto warms up. Starting with Friday night's game in Pittsburgh. So now this is the 5th game, including that one. From the 7th inning on, the Nationals have now scored 15 runs in those 5 games.
Give a lot of credit to Jason Bergman on the great job that he did, keeping it where it was.
Runners at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Niger Morgan, and the Marlins have to watch for a bunt here. That's why Cantu is going to follow the runner down 3rd base, Will Nieves.
Yeah, if they could pull a bunt by the pitcher, that's a run.
Fastball in there for a strike. Josh Johnson struck out Niger Morgan twice tonight. Got him the other time on a soft liner to 2nd.
I saw us play in Major League, that movie once, where the guy bunted, but Willie Mays Hayes kept running from 2nd all the way home.
Yes, he did.
Why don't we try that one? Okay, maybe not.
Morgan, that'll score a run, and it puts the other runner at 3rd base with 1 out.
Yep,
it's now a 4-3 game. And as you and I talked about the other day, in many ways that's better than a sac fly because you advance both base runners. Niger Morgan's 8th RBI as a member of the Nationals. And now Kristen Guzman coming in. Freddie Gonzalez had a right-hander ready earlier. Kiko Calero. That's who's coming in. Three singles. Ronnie Belliard gets a 2-strike breaking ball, drives in 2, sets up another run, and maybe another. The Nats are right back at the Marlins. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. And like Ronnie Belliard, your world delivered. A big at bat for Kristen Guzman. The Marlins will play the infield in. The tying runs at 3rd base with 1 out in the person of Belliard. And Kristen Guzman tonight 1 for 3. The pitcher is 34-year-old Kiko Calero. At times, this right-hander has been very effective for the Marlins this year. 10th appearance since coming off the DL. He had a right shoulder that got inflamed. Guzman from the left side this year batting over 300. Anything but a ground ball here. That was a 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball hanging upstairs.
You probably didn't expect that. So he's trying to just get a breaking ball over for strike one. Missed. It's probably the pitch you want to try to drive right here. Another bad breaking ball. Ball two.
Same one. Calero at times is a strikeout pitcher. 49 Ks in 39 innings. Josh Willingham waiting. Christian Guzman, over his last 10 games coming into tonight, has driven in 12 runs, elevating his season total up to 36. .88 on the fastball, missing, 3-1. You'd call this a great RBI count. That's a breaking ball from the side door that comes in, 3-2.
Well, obviously he's not feeling too comfortable with the fastball, so 4 out of 5 pitches have been breaking balls, and he backdoor breaking balls him right there to get back in the count. Donnelly warming up now.
Ronnie Belliard at third base, 1 out after his dramatic pinch hit. Guzman ties the game with a base hit. He hit it hard enough that Nick Johnson couldn't get there. And the Nats have battled back with 4 in the 8th.
Well, 1 too many breaking balls. Ball 1 with a breaking ball. Ball 2 with a breaking ball. Gets a break there on the swinging on a breaking ball. Fastball down. Another breaking ball for strike 2, full count. And then a bad 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball. So when you see 5 out of 6 pitches and they're breaking balls.
All 4 of those runs charged to Josh Johnson. J.D. Martin's off the hook. Johnson cannot win his 11th. And Josh Willingham takes one upstairs. Now the Nationals, in their last 5 games, have scored 17 runs from the 7th inning on.
Well, and base runners against Calero, 6 for 6.
Guzman's taking pretty short leads here. He's only 1 out of 5 stealing this year. And at the same time, the Nats know how hot Josh Willingham is. You don't want to take the bat out of his hands. And by the way, John Baker, the catcher, 21% caught stealing this year. Willingham with a good take, a breaking ball, 2-1. So Josh Johnson goes 7+, 4 runs, only 6 hits, but 4 of them came in a row here. He didn't walk a batter, struck out 9. 95 pitches, 67 strikes, and he cannot win the game.
Well, right here, the way Calero's been working, he's been throwing nothing but breaking balls, especially in fastball counts. So I would try to steal a base here. He's thinking the same thing. 2-1. I don't think he's going to give in and throw a fastball to a fastball hitter.
Well, what do I know? Josh Willingham was ripping on that 88-mile-an-hour heater. The count's 2-2. Still only one out here in the 8th. Breaking ball that Josh pops up to the right side. Nick Johnson for the second out. Adam Dunn helping that number we talked about. It was the 6th inning yesterday in Pittsburgh when he wrapped one around the left field foul pole. The Nats had been shut out until that inning. Guzman had driven in a run, and suddenly the Nats had the lead. And that'll be it for Kiko Calero, who gives up an RBI hit, gets an out. And the Nats are still battling away here in the 8th inning. They've now tied the game. Goes any farther, you can follow the Nats on your iPhone, your iPod Touch. It's MLB.com at bat 2009. You can visit Nationals.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase, and it features play-by-play video highlights and live audio. Adam Dunn dying to do something after striking out 3 times tonight. Left-hander Dan Meyer has saved a couple of ball games for the Marlins. Until Matt Lindstrom is back to full capacity. A bullpen by committee right now with Nunez, the right-hander, and Meyer.
Meyer has given up 2 home runs to left-handers this year, 4 overall.
They've had Donnelly ready for quite a while, and if Meyer doesn't retire Dunn, we could see another pitching change with the right-hander Dukes coming. Shift is on for Adam, and he'll take one off the plate away, 3-0.
And the percentages really aren't in Meyer's favor as far as numbers go. Left-handed hitters hitting 221 off of him, righties 160.
I think Adam wanted to rip on 3-0, but it was a little up.
A little up and away. That's not his pitch.
Three and two now. And the one advantage of the count going there is that Guzman gets a head start. They will take Nick Johnson and keep him close to first. He'll be retreating as soon as the pitcher comes home, and Guzman will be off and running. There's the infield defense. How deep is Cody Ross in center and Jeremy Hermida in right? And for that matter, Coughlin on the other side. Adam Dunn, deep left field. This ball is gone. His second consecutive opposite field homer, and the Nationals lead 6-4.
Going to get in a jam here by falling behind and have to throw 3 straight fastballs, even at 94 miles an hour outside. Adam Dunn caught up to it, and that's all she wrote. Goodbye.
80 RBIs for Adam Dunn. Here's Dukes. Changeup up and away, and the Nationals have dropped a 6th spot on the Marlins here in the 8th inning.
And that's one of those percentages that did not go the way the manager thought.
And a rattled Meyer now misses outside to Dukes.
And that's 3 home runs now given up by Meyer to lefties. And then bigger for the Nationals.
Adam Dunn's 28th home run, RBI total shoots up to 80. How about that after 3 strikeouts?
He was lulling them into a false sense of security.
Dukes takes a home run swing and fouls it straight back.
Don't ever try to figure this game out. Everything was in Josh Johnson's favor. And even their guy said he doesn't like pitching against the Nationals.
Well, the Nats got him for a bunch of runs in this ballpark earlier this year, a 5-run first inning. And Dukes, I don't know if he hurt himself on that swing. In to check him out is Pat Listash. He's looking like he
swallowed a bug.
Somebody could have brought some water out. We got some up here.
This is the 3rd straight fastball and away to Adam Dunn. Took one, missed one, hit the 3rd. A lot of happy Nationals fans right now.
Isn't that a thing of beauty when a big man stays on the ball like that and just strokes it the other way, and out she goes.
Well, we like it when he starts expanding his zone, going after some of those pitches out and away. We'll stop throwing fastballs away to him if he keeps hitting them out like that.
But we'd sure rather see him do that than take that 3-2 pitch off the plate for a walk.
Oh, ditto on that one.
And it's a 2-1 count to Dukes now.
I'm right there with Elijah. I don't like gloves either.
Have you considered switching your cologne? I don't seem to have a problem up here, but you do.
They're all over me all the time.
I'm just theorizing here. And a ground ball to Cantu. What an inning for the Nats. 9 batters, 6 score, and a big blow, a 2-run homer by Adam Dunn. Now we go to the top of the 9th at 6-4.
Right on the sweet spot, head down, hitting it where it's pitched. And Dan, don't call me Oscar Mayer Wiener. Can only sit there and watch the Coors Light freeze can.
Nationals shore up the defense now in a 6-4 ball game with a closer coming in. Ronnie Belliard stays in the ball game after his mega hit to play first base. Anderson Hernandez is in to play second. And then Alberto Gonzalez switches over to play third base in place of Willie Harris. And Willie is in left.
Well, look, it looks like he's got a cup on. Good choice.
Here's Mike McDougall. Saved the ball game with an anxious moment or two in Pittsburgh last night for his 8th. Now for the Marlins, Ramirez, Cantu, and Ugla, 3 right-handed hitters with power in the 9th inning. And McDougall gets ahead. Hanley Ramirez tonight 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. He's walked.
instead of trying to throw a slider, maybe elevate a fastball, chest high. I don't think he can catch up to that 97 up there.
And a 1-2 to Ramirez. Got in for the first out. Well called by my partner and well executed by the closer.
He's got one of the best moving fastballs. And he throws it up there, and Ramirez is just a bit tardy. One more time. We like strikeouts like that. 2 more outs.
Next up, Jorge Cantu, 1 for 4 with a single. Fastball whistles inside, 2-0. Well hit center field. Here comes Niger, and he can't get there. And the ball gets by him. Duke's backing up. It'll be a 1-out double for Jorge Cantu. He's going to try to catch anything out there.
Good job by Elijah Dukes backing up right there. Would have been a runner on third instead of runner on second.
Dan Uggla next for the Marlins, and then the left-hander Hermida.
Sometimes it's not the best idea, especially with 2 outs to go, to play a single into a double. You still would have had the double play in order right here.
Uggla, 3 walks and a single tonight. And McDougal falls behind. And with his limited repertoire, falling behind is not good.
Well, but you also want to try to just challenge this guy. You don't want to throw a bad slider right here. Go with your best stuff. You got to throw a 2-0 fastball mid-belt. Maybe the guy pops it up.
Big pitch here, 2-0 to Uggla. Not even close. The one thing that concerns you about McDougal, his strikeout to walk numbers on the year. 10 Ks, 17 walks. Now the tying runs on base. And it only took 4 pitches.
Well, with Mike, it's repeating delivery.
Here comes Steve McCaddy. Will Nieves on his way out? And I'm not sure Dan Uggla, a free swinger, has ever walked 4 times in one game.
And now what has happened with the double and the walk? McDougal might have to possibly face national killer Cody Ross.
Anything but that.
It's like Cody puts a cape on every time he plays the Nationals.
Home run in 4 trips tonight. play, strike two.
It's a little disconcerting that the crowd is almost silent when he's trying to throw the ball. Make a little noise.
Well, I'm not going to tell you why.
Mill around. I know why.
I don't have the heart to mention these numbers.
No, we know that. So
of the way this series has gone.
You know, start singing, whatever, make some noise. This isn't like golf. Stop trying to sink that putt to win the Masters.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Hermida with a bouncer. The Nats pray it stays fair, but it won't. I will say that Jeremy Hermida has hit a home run in this ballpark this year in the 9th inning.
Wow.
One ball and 2 strikes. 2 on and 1 out in a 6-4 game. And a ground ball to Guzman. This is the ball game. Yeah! The Nats win it on a double play. And they finally beat the Florida Marlins this year. A very impressive come from behind 6-4 win, and McDougal gets his 9th save. A perfect ground ball. All Guzman.